I ask those of you who are scattered in the hall to come closer, because we are getting smaller when you are leaving, and those who understand English especially, you can take the front sofas. Nobody else is coming this evening. So please come forward so we can communicate and feel cozy. Thank you. Sometimes we wonder, when Bap Dada looks at all of us, how he sees each one of us. Is there a difference between we seeing each other and we seeing ourselves and Baba looking at us? Is it the same or is it different? Definitely it is very different. So you can visualize yourself being in front of Bap Dada and immerse that experience. How do you feel when you are in front of Baba? Each one of us feel very uplifted, very encouraged, filled with lot of enthusiasm. The reason why we get that kind of energy, elated energy, is because Baba's vision towards us is elevated. He looks at each one of us, keeping the three aspects of time in his mind. What I was, what I am, and what I will be. And because of that far-sighted vision of Baba towards me, I also begin to feel confidence that I can be what Baba wants me to be. That is why when Baba asks us to raise our hands for so many things, we feel so confident. We feel so energetic. We just raise not one hand, both hands. But we do not keep that vision Baba has towards us all the time. And when we look at each other, how much we can keep that vision of Baba towards us. Very often what happens is, when we see each other, we look at the past and we look at the present, but we often forget to look at the future. Maybe sometimes. But most of the time we are aware what was this person in the past and what they have become in the present. So we have appreciation for that soul, for seeing the transformation, how much they have changed and how much transformation they have brought. But what happens when we see ourselves? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself always the way Baba sees you? Do you have the vision towards yourself, the vision Bap Dada has towards you? If I do, then I really feel total confidence within myself. Even though I may not be able to do certain things, but because Baba's vision is so elevated, I feel I can. You feel that confidence. That is why one of the versions that Baba says, which reminds us of both our promise and his return. Can you think of one version of Baba in which both things are included. My promise and Baba's guarantee. One step of children's courage brings 1,000 steps help from Baba. So in order to attract 1,000-fold help from God, but first of all, I have to lift one step of courage. So even to take that step of courage, I need to have confidence. Very often, due to lack of confidence, we don't make a start. Even though they say that a journey of 1,000 steps begins with one step. So if I do not take that one step of courage, if I do not have that confidence, I can, then I would not attract Baba's help towards me. I think many times Brahmins suffer from this sickness. Lack of confidence in one's own self, lack of faith in one's own self. We have faith in Baba, we have faith in Baba's knowledge, we also have faith in the drama, but sometimes because of lack of faith in myself, we are not able to see God's magic. But remember that not to have faith in myself is also doubt in God. Because who has chosen me, selected me out of so many souls in the whole world? It's God who had the faith that I am the one who is going to be victorious. So He has seen my victory already. So He has made me belong to Him. Not to accept that is to doubt myself. So I feel that this self-doubt, lack of confidence, is worse than cancer. Nowadays, cancer also can be treated. But if I have that self-doubt, lack of confidence, I will not be able to progress in Brahmin life. I will always suffer from hiccup. Feeling of disheartenment, not being worthy, not being capable. So that will not make me have that self-esteem. So this is why it is very, very important to understand what actually it means to have confidence in myself, what it means not to have confidence, because I need to understand both the negative aspect and the positive aspect. So one of the things that comes in understanding, having confidence in myself, is the inner feeling of certainty. You are definite about something. The feeling of certainty, it's a feeling of certainty about who you are and what you have to offer to the world. That much we know about ourselves. The certainty about who you are and what you have to offer to the world. Because I have lived in this body the longest time. I know my shortcomings, I know my specialities, I know what I can offer to the world, isn't it? It's also the feeling. Self-confidence means it's a feeling that you are worthwhile and you are valuable. Don't wait for others to tell you. You know you are of worth. You are of value. So unless I give the worth myself, I will not feel the confidence. So this is why one thing we have to make sure is to evaluate ourselves properly. So to have this feeling of self-worth, I need to evaluate myself both negatively and positively and give the worth I deserve for the merits I have. Then only I am able to offer that speciality for God's work. The third aspect actually is confidence means to have the feeling that you have prepared yourself the best you can. So you have prepared yourself, you have done what you can do, and you feel good about it. Because we lose confidence sometimes when we begin to compare ourselves with others. They can do better than me, I am not so good. But if I have done what I can do the best, then I should feel confident within myself. I should feel good about myself. Also, self-confidence means knowing your way around yourself, your ins and outs, that you have always the strength to draw on. You are not void. You have strength. You know your capabilities. You can always draw from that strength. So that is why the key to develop self-confidence is to develop self-respect. Because without having self-respect, I cannot have confidence within myself. And to have self-respect, I must know how to evaluate myself, not to underestimate, not to overestimate, just to know myself as I am, what I am, who I am, and play my role as best as I could. So once I am able to accept my role and play my role happily, I develop self-respect, and that will allow me to maintain confidence within myself. Comparison is definitely an enemy. It will never allow you to have confidence within myself. Sometimes, overconfidence can lead to ego. So this is why it is also important to understand what is not self-confidence, so that I don't go beyond the borderline. Sometimes we pretend to act ourselves better than others. So when acting like you are better than others is actually ego, not confidence within the self. Or sometimes, you feel like you are not true to yourself. If there is any form of falsehood, that is not confidence within myself. It should not be something that you feel guilty for wanting. Like if I have that feeling of guilt, that does not allow me to feel confident within myself. Or confidence is not like to step on others or promote yourself. Sometimes some souls, they promote themselves, overconfidence. So promoting yourself by tearing someone else down, putting someone else down and making yourself more higher than themselves. So it is a form of false ego. It is not confidence. And self-confidence is also not selfish. If I have confidence within myself, it is I am true to myself. I am not showy. I am not selfish. So that is why when you have confidence in doing something, you don't give up. You continue. You remain consistent because you are drawing from your own energy. You are not depending on anything external. It's not selfish at all. Or also, it is not like being boastful or, taking advantage in any aspects. So when I find any of these signs, I know that I have crossed the borderline. So then I have to take care of myself, that this confidence within myself don't change into the form of ego. So we need to have confidence based on self-respect. But when the self-respect change into ego, it becomes false. Self-respect is true. And that is why you are able to maintain your stage, stable stage. The moment I move into ego, which is false, I experience upheavals. So actually, what is ego? Someone was saying the other day, actually ego is equal to fear. Wherever there is ego, there is fear. Why? Because ego is a false belief that you have developed towards yourself. So when I have that false belief about myself, I begin to get myself attached to it. Whatever I think I am, and wherever there is attachment, there is always resistance. You don't want to lose something you are attached to, so as a result of which you suffer from fear. So ego actually leads to fear. Where there is confidence, you are fearless, because you are what you are. You don't need to justify, you don't need to be boastful, you don't need to be showy, and that is why it remains permanent. So what I was thinking, actually, there are some obstacles that comes on our way in Brahmin life, particularly that causes hindrance in progressing in this Brahmin life with total confidence. Sometimes Baba has confidence in me, trust in me. Dadis have confidence, but I myself are not confident. Does that happen to any one of you? They have faith in me, but I don't have faith in myself. So one of the obstacle I find in Brahmin life is sometimes we discourage ourselves a lot. We beat ourselves, we whip ourselves, we punish ourselves unnecessarily. So that is one of the obstacles, is allowing yourself being discouraged. So actually, I need to pull my ears definitely whenever I make a mistake. That does not mean that I always need to make myself feel bad. You are not good, you are not able to do this. No, you should treat yourself, in a nice way. Because that is why it is important for us to know ourselves. If I keep on criticizing myself all the time, I will not be able to develop confidence. Beating up myself, criticizing, kills our spirit. And it doesn't allow us to move with enthusiasm. So what is important in order to gain that kind of confidence? So I need to see myself the way Baba looks at me. That's why it's important. Even though I had lost confidence in myself, but Baba brought that confidence in me by seeing my speciality, and he gave me that boast. He gave me that energy to use that speciality. That is how Baba gave me that self-respect. Baba gave me that love. So if I can begin to see myself as Baba sees me, then I will be able to be grateful. I will be able to be thankful. Many of us are not even grateful and thankful to what we have and what we are. There are many people out in the world who is even worse than us, who don't even have food, water, shelter. We are so fortunate. So sometimes we do not express that gratefulness, the thankfulness to what we have in our life. So that is why sometimes we criticize ourselves, we whip ourselves, we beat ourselves. So I think this is something that I need to renounce if I want to develop confidence in myself. So one of the yuktis we can use, simple yukti, every morning when you wake up, do something even before, as soon as you say good morning to Baba, as you come out of the bed, just try to bring that smile on your face and think about 8 or 10 things that you are very grateful for in your life. Create an attitude of gratitude. Experiment and see for yourself how you feel so good about yourself. It is important to have that kind of positive attitude towards myself. So think about maybe some of the things that you are grateful in your own life that will make you smile, that will bring that happiness to begin the day with. So then, as I go through the day, if I am expressing that attitude of gratitude to Baba, my heart will be filled with love, and I am able to draw that love from Baba, and that would automatically give me that boost to move forward in life. So don't ever discourage yourself, criticize yourself, whip yourself, make yourself feel bad. Always let your vision be as Baba has for you. Even when you look at others also, if I maintain the same vision towards others as Baba would have, so I will be also giving them that energy of confidence. So that is actually, it's a donation of life, One of these sickness that comes in Brahmin life is disheartening, hopelessness every now and then. So to give hope to someone who have lost hope is like giving life to someone who is dead. So it is a great act of charity. So if I remain as a hopeful star, then I am able to bring hope to the hopeless and receive blessings from such souls. So one of the obstacles I find in gaining confidence is lack of recognition of the self, so we discourage. So we need to stop that feeling of making ourselves feel bad. The second obstacle I find is fear. It's the opposite of confidence, isn't it? So when we feel fear, what is your feeling like? Your feeling is you are not good. The moment the feeling of fear comes means you have the feeling that you are not good enough. So you are not able to face the challenges, the situation that comes. So fear stops you from progressing. So actually, the fear that comes in making us lose confidence is psychological fear. It is mostly connected with our mind. Many of the fear that we have in this aspect doesn't even exist. But it is just psychological, imagination. And so it makes us feel that we are not good. So what we need to do in order to overcome fear, so that we can gain confidence, you have to face, you have to walk through the situation of the fear. That's what they say, when you face an object of which you are afraid of, that fear disappears. It's neutralized, that negative energy. So that is when I have to remind myself about my last Kalpa's act. So this is not the first time I am facing this situation. I have faced it many times, and so this is just one more time. So instead of running away from fear, so the most important method that I can use is to face the fear, walk through the fear, so that I am able to overcome it. So when you walk through the fear means you take an action, you perform an action, a positive action, so that the situation changes. And especially your own confidence increases. Like for example, many people have the fear of facing dark. Many people have the fear of, speaking in the public, whatever. So as long as I have that fear, I cannot do it. So once I must keep the courage to face the situation, then I overcome it. So one of the obstacles that comes in developing confidence is fear. Now fear is what? Faith in the dark. So if you want to become fearless, what you need to do? Develop faith in light. Seek for wisdom. Whatever kind of fear, ignorance you have, you replace that ignorance with wisdom. Just like when there is darkness, you just switch on light. You don't sit and cry, there is darkness, isn't it? So whatever kind of fear I have, I need to seek for knowledge about that. So knowledge is light. So when you seek for knowledge, when you seek for wisdom, you develop faith in the light, and the darkness in the form of fear disappears. So that is like you are taking an action, walking through the fear. So that is why I said I need to have one step of courage. Courage is where there is no fear. Courage is to be bold. So I can be bold to take a step when I have faith and confidence in God. That is why Baba always makes us understand that you are only an instrument. Baba is Karan Karavanhar. I remember Dadi Gulzar sharing her experience once, when they were sent for service after 14 years of tapasya. They had not met anybody from outside, and they did not even speak Hindi. They used to speak Sindhi amongst themselves. And now when they were coming out, Baba gave them 2 blessings. Baba told Dadi Gulzar, whenever you stand in the public to share Baba's knowledge, one thing you always remember, you are an instrument. Baba is the one who does and works through you. And second thing, Baba said, never ever lose courage. then you will never lose confidence. So Dadi had kept that in her mind, and first speech when she was invited in Ahmedabad, she has to speak in Hindi, and she had not spoken in Hindi for so many years. So she stood in front of the public, with confidence that I am an instrument, Baba has sent me, so he is going to work. And it was really amazing. Dadi spoke fluent Hindi. And the speech was so wonderful that people kept inviting her for many programs. And second thing is her courage made people to have vision of her perfect form in the audience. So it is, sometimes we begin to think we have to do it, and that is when we lose confidence. The fear comes, I have to impress people, I have to satisfy people, whether they will like it or not, and we are not prepared to listen to the criticism, because sometimes I have seen, after you have spoken, and if you hear some criticism from people next time, you lose confidence. No, I don't want to do it because people don't like, But I should be prepared to grow, to be able to accept the criticism as a means for me to progress, isn't it? So this is why it is very important to maintain the instrument consciousness. I remember once Jayanti Ben was sharing her experience. She has never spoken in the public, even not in front of 5 or 6 people. But how she gained the confidence. So again, you have to prepare. Suppose if you are given a subject, you have to prepare for it. But at the time when you have to deliver the speech or deliver the class or whatever, at that time you invoke Baba. Baba, now this is your children and this is your service. You come and do what you want to do. So at that time when I surrender myself to Baba, then Baba does the magic. We have heard in Sakar Murlis many times that when an intelligent person comes in front of a Buddhu, Baba himself enters that person and gives drishti to them. It's not that Baba will enter that person, but they can, draw that Baba's energy works at that time. So when we practically apply this method, we overcome fear. Fear is when I think I have to do, I am doing it. So when the consciousness of I comes, ego, the fear follows. So one of the enemy obstacle in gaining confidence in the self is to replace fear, faith in the dark, with faith in the light. So that I am able to overcome fear and become a victorious jewel of the last kalpa. And also the third enemy in developing confidence in the self is feeling the guilt. It's a very, very subtle sickness, guilty, Actually, if you are honestly trying your best, why you feel guilty? If you are doing whatever you can do, according to your energy, according to your time, according to your wealth, according to your circumstances, you are trying your best. Why do you make yourself guilty? That makes you lose your confidence. Actually, guilt, it saps the strength, It makes you weak. So sometimes we may not feel guilty, but we allow others to make us feel guilty. Or we make others feel guilty through our behavior. So that is also an enemy of confidence. So why should I allow others to make me feel guilty? See, this is why we lose our confidence. Means I know myself and I have done what I could do the best. So if somebody tries to make me feel guilty by boasting themselves or praising themselves or whatever, I should not be affected. So sometimes we allow others to make us feel guilty, and sometimes we make ourselves feel guilty. So this guilt actually doesn't allow us to become confident enough. So it is not productive. Feeling guilty is not productive. Sometimes we wonder why others make us feel guilty. It is their own insecurity actually. Because they are insecure in themselves in certain aspects, so they try to project that on us. So I know myself better, so why should I feel affected? Why should I become feeling insecure? So this thing I think we should take care. So I need to actually check myself and see if I have used the energy that I have, the time that I have, the talents that I have fully, I should be happy. I should be confident. I should be carefree. If I feel I could have done more, just do it. Not making I did not do it, I could have done it. Like some people make mistake. Okay, I made a mistake, I feel guilty and I ask for forgiveness. It's finished, isn't it? But after making mistake, you spend your whole day feeling guilty about the mistake. It's ignorance, isn't it? It's not worth it. Actually, to transform myself, a feeling of guilt, splits of a second is enough. But if I live a life of guilt, it will not allow me to be confident within myself. And that is why, we always look out for others to tell me what I am when I know myself what I am. Who knows me better? Others have come into my connection only recently. I have been with myself for such a long time. And Baba has made me understand what I am. So why should I expect somebody else to make me know what I am? So when we have that kind of expectation, so then we are not able to make ourselves feel happy. So what I need to actually do is, one of the recipe I would suggest to develop confidence in ourselves, that each one of us have to spend some time with ourselves, honoring ourselves. Baba honors us every day in the Murli, but we have to accept that honor. So make sure from now you spend a few minutes every day honoring yourself. So how to do this? How do I honor myself? It is just very simple, You just say to yourself every morning, I am going to honor myself today. A simple thing, for example, for waking up on time for Amrit Vela. So, I honor myself for being accurate. I honor myself for being on time for the class. Give the honor for yourself. Honor yourself. Make yourself feel good. It could be a simple thing maybe, but it makes a difference in your life. You don't need to wait for others, or you are given some job to do, so you are able to finish the job on time. Honor yourself. Why? Because when you feel the honor, you feel the acknowledgement. You acknowledge yourself. And every soul needs that, But because we wait for others to do that, and when we don't get that acknowledgement, we get disappointed. So when I can do it myself to myself, why should I wait for other people's acknowledgement? So try to honor yourself every day in little things. So you make your timetable, say, I will, do this drill so many times during the day, and I did. Honor yourself. Good. So that you feel good about yourself, you feel confident about yourself. Doesn't matter how small act you have performed. You promise somebody something and you are able to keep up that promise. Honor yourself for keeping up the promise. Because when we acknowledge and when we honor ourselves, we feel special. No matter how much time Baba makes us feel special, but I can feel myself special when I give that time and energy to honor myself. So the way I treat myself, that is the way I will treat others also. So that is why, Baba says, each one of us are special. We deserve that honor. We deserve that acknowledgement. But I must feel that I am special. Why I am special? Why you are special? Can you tell me? Even the last bead of the rosary is special for Baba. Last bead of the rosary is also important. Why? Because each one's part is unique. Each one of us are unique. Unique means we are of the only one kind. No one is like me. That is why I am special. So that means no one can play my role as best as I could. That's why I'm special. See, there is a difference between play and drama. In a play, actors can be replaced because it's a live performance. But drama is always short. So you cannot replace actors. So that means I am an actor. I am a special actor in this drama. No one can play my role as best as I could. That is why I am special. So when I accept that uniqueness, when I accept that special role in the drama, then I am able to honor myself. Because how will an ordinary actor becomes a hero actor? No one is born as a hero actor. But when an actor performs his act accurately, accepting his role, and plays it happily. So that means in order to do that, I have to accept it. See, I cannot play your role, you cannot play my role. So there is a difference between role and part. See, if you don't accept your role, you cannot play a hero part. So role is actually the present life. Part is of the 5,000 years. So if I don't accept my role and play my role happily, I cannot become a hero actor. He cannot play a hero part. So no comparison. Because everyone's role is as important as the other. Sometimes Baba gives the example of small screws in a little wristwatch. Even if one screw is missing, the whole watch is useless. That means the whole drama is based on me. Without me, the drama cannot move. That means my role is so important. So when I have that kind of acceptance, appreciation, acknowledgement, then I am able to develop that confidence. So the moment I develop that confidence, I begin to move forward. Because it is a type of energy. That's why Baba said, when you keep one step of courage, Baba comes forward and gives you help. When dadis were asked to do things, they had never done so many things before, but they never said no to Baba. They always said yes from the heart, and because of their obedience, they got help from Baba, and that gave them confidence. So when I have confidence in myself, I am able to make impossible possible. When there is confidence in oneself, it attracts others automatically towards Baba. Now, when there is confidence in ourselves, we are able to show God's magic. In Hindi we say, small mouth and big talk. That means we are in an ordinary body, but we are talking about big, big things, But how people will believe what we are telling them is true, because I'm speaking with confidence. So this is why belief is another important aspect in developing confidence. I must believe I can. Determination is very important ingredient in developing confidence. If you don't believe in yourself, you cannot make things happen. So this is my belief system. What I believe about myself, that is what I'm going to project in my action. So if I have that belief, I did before, I am doing it now, and I will continue to do it again. This is not the first time. That is why Baba keeps reminding us about the knowledge of drama. Whenever you are given any task to do, remind yourself you are not doing it for the first time. It's already done. I remember once, Baba asked Mama to do something like prepare the picture of kalpa tree on the embroidery, 6x4 size, within 24 hours. When Baba asked Mama, Mama said, Haji. Other sisters who were around Mama were looking at Mama, how can this be possible in 24 hours? Kalpa tree picture with embroidery. But Mama said yes. Then later on, the sisters were asking Mama, on what basis you said yes to Baba? How much confidence you had when you said yes to Baba? What was your background? So Mama said, do you know who was talking to me? God. And who is God? God is truth. When God, the truth, says something to do, you must know that it is already done. It's already done. You are only given a chance to create your fortune. You see, so much confidence Mama had in Baba's words, even though it looked impossible, but it was possible. So because Mama had that recognition, this is God telling me to do it. It's already done. So Mama said, Haji. And practically, she got all the cooperation. She got the picture ready according to the time Baba wanted and presented to Baba. See, others develop confidence in me when I am able to practically do it in action. Sometimes we question, seniors also, why don't you trust me? Why don't you have confidence in me? So it's not a asking question. It's a matter of revealing my trust through action. So commitment is very important. If I want others to have confidence in me, I need to be committed to the task that I'm given. So that means I need to stay in put until the task is finished. So when I have that confidence, it is not the first time I'm doing, it has been many times before. So it becomes easier. And when you are performing that action, others see you as an experienced soul, not someone who is doing it for the first time. So this is why in Brahmin life, if I want to progress constantly, I need to really have confidence, total confidence within myself, but it should not change it into ego, that's all. Because if that self-confidence change into self-ego, then there is falsehood. And that falsehood will automatically bring us into the downfall. So this is why Baba always says, don't be disheartened, don't lose hope. Baba always has hope in you, so why should you lose hope? So I have to keep reminding myself, and I need to check, if I am discouraging myself, whether I am creating any kind of barrier in the form of fear because of my old sanskara, or if there is any feeling of guilt or allowing others to make me feel guilt, or if there is something lacking in my belief system. If I can remove these 4 obstacles from my Brahmin life, so I am able to make myself strong. So when someone is doing something with confidence, faith, others automatically develop that in their life. So this is why souls who have such nature become foundation. They become the basis for achieving anything. So if I want to be successful, both in Laukik life and in Brahmin life, if I want to grow constantly, let me not give up. Baba's favorite slogan is, try, try, and try till you succeed. Yeah? Baba used to give the example of the spider. Spider? It will try to climb the wall, it will fall. It will try again to climb the wall, it will fall. But finally, it will catch hold of the wall and build a web around itself. So Baba used to say, don't you have so much sense as the sense of a spider? Why do you give up so easily? Because somebody said something? Because somebody criticized, somebody insulted, I just give up? No. So I should continue with this faith in my intellect. I was victorious, I am victorious, and I will be victorious. If victory doesn't come to Baba's children, whom should it go to? So when each one of us, keep our heart so strong, it's only then we are able to overcome the obstacles and maintain total confidence within ourselves and build confidence in weak souls by giving them strength. And we can together achieve our aim and object in Brahmin life. Yes. Yes, yes. the question is that she's asking, I was talking about Mama, no? Mama said Haji to Baba because Baba asked her to do something. So sister is asking, when our instrument sisters in the center ask us to do something, should we just do it as Mama did, Haji, or should we consider our situation, or should we think about whether what we should do, what we should not do? That's what you mean. Actually, when we have committed ourselves, like say if your instrument teacher asks you to do something at a particular time, and you have already committed yourself to do something, Baba's service only, you have committed yourself to do something. So at that time, you should be honest in expressing your commitment, but first you should say, yes, why not? I would like to do it, but this is my situation. I have already committed myself this time for this particular task. So that means I have not closed my doors. At the same time, I am honest to myself. So I can express myself honestly, my commitment. So that is also Baba's service. So they will understand. So they won't consider that you are disobedient, but they will appreciate your self-honesty, and you also feel not guilty. Otherwise, sometimes not to say no to the seniors, we say yes, but then in the long run, we suffer inside in a dilemma. Don't know what to do because you have said yes to somebody also, here also yes, So we should not make ourselves in a kind of a dilemma stage like that. We can be honest, but first don't say no immediately. Yes, I would like to do it, but this is my situation. Explain. So they will feel, they will be attracted towards your honesty and your commitment. Next time, your chances will be open. Yeah. Anybody else has any other question? Yeah? Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I think it was not self-respect, it turned into ego. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I just repeat the question for the translators. They cannot hear you speaking. It's just like sometimes, when we talk about self-respect, it is the basis for self-confidence, because sometimes you are overconfident. What you are talking is overconfidence. That becomes ego. So that is not going to help me to have the real confidence. It becomes false. It becomes false. It's not true self-confidence. That is why it doesn't stay longer. So this is where I need to make sure that I have confidence, but not overconfidence, where I take things for granted. That becomes like a carelessness later. So that is where we have to be careful, that my confidence don't exceed my self-respect. When it is overconfidence, it is ego. So that is why there is a subtle fear inside, like not being others, not maybe they will disrespect me, maybe I would be criticized, so that kind of fear. But if it is real self-respect, you would not have any kind of fear in it. So that is where I need to make sure that I have to honor myself for my merits, but not in the form of body consciousness. Body consciousness should not be slightly mixed in it. If there is any selfish motive, I must check my motive, my intention in that. So if my motive is not clean, that is not actually self-respect, it's ego. It's a fine line, it's a fine line. So that is where I need to, in a way, developing self-respect is developing deep, deep soul consciousness. When there is the deep soul consciousness, so automatically humility follows. When there is lack of humility, that is lack of self-respect, it's not confidence, it is overconfidence, which is ego. So maybe we can talk more about it later, because others cannot hear your talk, they cannot translate. So we can share later, okay? So we'll have some meditation until 7:30. So we take just one self-respect, seat of self-respect. Baba has given us many seats of self-respect. So one of the seat of self-respect, which Baba reminds us always in this Brahmin life, is I am Master Almighty Authority. Baba is Almighty Authority. I am Master Almighty Authority. So let us remind ourselves of the seat of self-respect and sit ourselves in that seat. To sit in the seat of Master Almighty Authority is to be a self-sovereign. As Dadi Gulzar was saying this morning, being a master, self-master. The mind, the intellect, sanskaras are totally in my controlling power, and all the sense organs are under my control. So that means to be a Master Almighty Authority is to be a conqueror. So let us just experience ourselves that self-sovereignty, mastery over the self, and see how we are able to draw that power from Baba, and that power will allow us to become a lighthouse and a might house to spread that rays of light out into the world. So let us experiment with that seat of self-respect today. As I sit here in silence, I become aware of myself as a soul, a being of light, the master of this body, my vehicle. In this true self-awareness, I am able to feel myself having the power to control my mind, my intellect, and my sanskaras are all in harmony. I am at peace with myself. I am at one with myself. In this total soul conscious stage, I easily connect myself with Baba, the Supreme Light. The Almighty Father, fills me with His powers in the form of inheritance. I, the soul, I become the Master Almighty in the company of Baba, the Almighty. In this stage, I experience my self-sovereignty. I experience myself being the total conqueror. With Baba, the Supreme Light, I, the being of light, I become a lighthouse. Spreading the rays of light, filled with might, out into the world. These rays of light, filled with might, reaching out to all four corners, touching each soul, awakening each soul. I am the Master Almighty in the company of Baba, on the top of the world. Sharing these powers, virtues, out into the world. I am light. I absorb light from Baba, the ever-lit light, and I radiate light. I am light. I absorb light, radiate light. I am light. I absorb light from the ever-lit light. I radiate light. I am light. I absorb light. I emit light. I am light. I absorb light. I radiate light. Rays after rays, beams of light reaching out into the world. Healing, cooling souls.